In this video, I'll show you how to analyze the endpoints of these max and min slope lines and use that to calculate the slope of your graph and the uncertainty of the slope of the graph. Actually, we're not going to calculate the slope. The slope is 0.312, okay? And that's what, newtons per centimeter or something like that. Okay, so we're not going to calculate the slope, but we are going to calculate the max and min slope. And by the way, we expect the max slope to be bigger than 0.312 and the minimum slope to be less than that because the slope of the trend line there is 0.312. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to find, for these lines, we're going to find the lower left point and the upper right point for that line. And don't mix up the endpoints. Like the endpoint of this line is here, the endpoint of that line, of the same line is there, right? The lower left is here, the upper right is there, okay? And it helps to zoom in a little bit, right? And so the maximum slope line is this guy here. It's slightly darker because I must have made it a smaller, right, thing and then dragged it out a little bit, okay? So here is my maximum one, right? And the lower left endpoint there appears to be, how far over? What's my x? 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, but not quite 0.4, right? There's 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1. Okay, this is good. Sometimes you get the wrong number of grid lines here. Okay, so 0.1. So I'm going to say that that is 0.38. Yeah, yeah. All right. I guess to be all fancy, I should say 0.38. It's black. Uh-oh, it's bothering me. Okay. And then our y is easy, right? Because that's the x-axis. So our y is 0. 0.0, you know. 0.00. All right. And the upper right one is over here. Okay. The upper right is this point right there. Now our x is easy. Our x is 6. Because we're 6 over. I guess I should say 0.00. You know, to be all sig figgy. It's bothering me that that's not blue. What is that? I think that's like OCD or something like that. Okay, and now we got to figure out the y for that, right? Okay, so this is 1.5. That's 2, and this point right there is between 1.9 and 2. So that's 1.9. What do you think? 1.97 is what I'm going to say. 1.97. It's not quite 2. It's more than 1.9. It's more than halfway between 1.9 and 2, right? So to just read, I think I'm going to say 1.97. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now I've got those endpoints. Let's just double check that. So 0.38, just slightly shy of 0.4. 1, 2, 3, 4.4, right? And 0 up. And then this one is 6 over because it's right on this line here, right? And it's 1.97 up. And I'm using the right thing. Okay, so this is my max slope, right? So now I'm just going to do this, right? I'm going to say 1.9, whoops. .97 minus 0.00, right? And then the x is 6. 6.00. And do the sig figs like that, because if you read them off the graph, and then 0.38. I mean, the zeros are a little ridiculous, right? Okay. So let's figure out what that is here. That's going to equal parentheses 1.97 minus 0, right parentheses, divided by left parentheses 6 minus 0.38. I'm expecting a number bigger than 0.312. And I'm getting 0.3505, so I'll say 0.351. There we go. Okay. I feel like that should be blue, don't you think? There it is, right? And this is, the units of this are, what is it, newtons per centimeter, right? No, no, that's not blue now. Oh my gosh. You guys, this video would be half as long if I didn't slightly have a little OCD. Okay, so there we go. So this is good. This looks like I'm good, and I'm just checking my maths, and I think I've got that right. Okay, so now let's do the minimum slope. The minimum slope is this guy here. Okay, is this line, and there's the lower left, and here's the upper right. Okay. So for minimum slope, this one's easy. The x's are easy, right? Because the x is 0. The lower left is 0. And then the y is a little bit tricky, but not really, because that's 0.1, right? It goes right through 0.1, okay? 0.10, okay? Pretty sure. Okay, so let's look at the upper right endpoint of that guy. Right, now notice it's got to be the least steep line, so don't mix them up. So that's 6 over, okay? And then how far up is that guy? That is 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. I'm going to say 1.73. 1.5, 1.6, 1.73. There we go. Now, obviously, you're going to read the graph, and we're not going to be exactly the same, and that's just fine. Okay, so now we got to put in the numbers here. Notice it's selecting both, but it's the top only. Okay, so let's see. Y2 is 1.73, and then I'm just doing shift and arrow keys. Let's see. 0.10, right? Those are the y's, and then the x's. The x's are just 6 minus 0, right? Minus. Okay, did I do that right? I'm just double checking my work here. This minus this divided by this minus this. Rise divided by run. Okay. So now left parenthesis 1.73 minus 0.1, right parenthesis divided by 6 minus 0. And that is 0.272, okay? So that is That is 0.272, which is below, that's below the 0.312 that we have there, right? So we've got a number above and a number below. We've represented now the slope. Let's make that a little bigger. There we go. We've now represented the slope with the maximum boundary and a minimum boundary, right? And now all we have to do is go max minus min divided by 2, right? So let's see. No, that didn't do it. Let's see. This is kind of twitchy. Oh, there we go. Okay. So our maximum is 0.351. Now I'm going to use the unrounded value in my calculator. So just hang on there. And then 0.272. Okay. Now if I take those two numbers and let's go this guy minus this guy equals divided by 2. I get 0.04 roughly as the uncertainty of the slope, right? I get 0.039. So we could do this. Our slope is this guy here, the 0.312. And then the uncertainty is when I do this, I get 0.0395. 0.4, and that is also newtons per centimeter. The uncertainty would have the same units as the slope, right? So what do we do here? I think we say 0.039. There we go. Okay. Does that work? What if I just do the raw numbers? 0.351 minus 0.272 divided by 2 is 0.395, you know. So anyway, I'm just going to go with that. Okay. So this is fine. We can have a 2-digit slope, and notice that we have a 1,000th place there, and we have a 1,000th place there. 1,000th? Just can't say it. There we have it. All right. Good enough. So just anyway, just read these endpoints, use the point form to find the slopes. All right. That's the 2-minute summary.